Hello! So, short version, we're done. Last time I made a video, I had this prototype. And through this prototype, I found a whole bunch of odd little bugs, like I'd put the treble control backwards. Not easy to see on the schematic, still worked. You know, and I've corrected all those little bugs, but this had a horrible screaming problem. And it occurred to me after doing a million different tests that maybe the actual problem was just that the layout of the board is much more critical than I realised. And it was. So we went from this board here to this board here. Look quite similar, but you'll notice that this one doesn't have the three big black chips on top. And if we look at the bottom, you'll see that this one here, the proper one, we've used the tiny little surface mount chips on the bottom and a lot of screening. Much better thought out layout. This, with the tracks all over the place, the typical sort of thing you get just by throwing parts down, or heaven forbid using an auto router, which I never do. And the tracks moving around the board were acting to pick up noise. This here, much better. Sensible layouts, every chip is near the right controls, every path is short. The result is that this is actually plugged in right now. Let me turn the guitar up and you can hear, and even though I'm holding it and waving it around in midair with no case, we're still not getting screaming feedback. I mean, how good is this, you know? Nothing. If I touch a few chips, we might be able to get a noise. That's it. Everything worked first time. So all there is really left to do is do a little bit of demoing of this. Now, obviously I will, now it's working, get you a much better demo with a proper microphone. But for now, I'm sure you'll forgive me if I just use the camera. So we've got a reasonably good gain control now. It's quite smooth, so I'm gonna dial the gain up. And if we use the guitar's volume control, we get quite a lot of control over that from a very high gain kind of. And we can roll that back quite cleanly. Which for a high gain pedal is really something. So, lots of control. A lot of brightness in this pedal, which is something I wanted because a lot of high gain pedals roll off the treble to try and avoid the buzziness, to try and reduce feedback. And I want to really keep that treble. So the treble control on this is extremely sweet, I think. It goes from a really bright all the way right down to quite a good roll off. The mid control works as a standard sort of American mid initially. Has that kind of wah sound. All the way to a scoop. And of course it has a frequency shift. I'll use it in. You can hear it go from a very sort of 700, 600, 700, 800 hertz down to like 200, 300 hertz, which is a really cool sort of bass mid. So there's two really good frequencies we get through the mid control. We of course have the bass kind of low end boost, makes it fat, and the mid-range boost that lifts it up. Never know how bass will be picked up on these phones. It sometimes just doesn't even come up. But hopefully that's been picked up, and the mid should definitely be picked up. Now this is the control designed to lift it out of the mix. So you got your normal. Hopefully again, let's say, who knows if these are being picked up. And of course we have the all-important amp control. Now this thing really gives it some to switch between our different amp types. So in the middle's got what I consider to be like the EL34 neutral sound. So a bit more volume on that. And then we can go up to the 606 fatter sound with a sort of... Again, I'll do it extreme. And that's affecting the clipping, so it makes it sort of fatter around the clipping, so you don't lose the top end. Again, you know, from to... It's still there, but you've got the low end with it. And of course the EL84 honk that I've gone for. And this allows us to go all over from a sort of like a nice, regular, real usable live rock. So like really kind of chaotic scooped. Let's go with the whole scooped thing here. Metal. More treble. Back to a sort of fatter rock sound. So yeah, there we go. So there's yet more little demoing. You see, it's very stable. The circuit's just being used, workable. I'm going to take it home and play with it. I'm going to fine tune the schematic. And as far as I am concerned, you know, maybe I'll tweak a component or something. Sometimes I do this, but the circuit is done. The layout is done. It works. It works. It works. I'm going to get that transferred now onto the computer. Make sure everything is rock solid. Work towards getting the core circuit board, you know, ordered and into production. Yes, I still need to do the daughter board. As I've said before, I'm not as worried about that. It's a separate part, so it can be plugged on later. It's fundamentally designed to be an add-on system that can be swapped in and out. So I have no fear about that. Where this, you know, this has been work. This has been work. I am so pleased with how it has come out. I'm a little bit tone deaf at this point. I've listened to it so much. Hence why I say I may like make a couple of tiny tweaks, but we're done. We're done. The circuit's done, and yeah, we're in the end game now. Yeah.